What is up, Wholesale 2 Million family? We're back with another subscriber first wholesale deal interview, obviously in front of me. I don't know if you guys get to see him yet or not, but I just want you guys, man, he looks like he's barely legal, man. He's 18, made his first wholesale deal for 3G. I'm going to have him share with you guys kind of his stories, how he got into wholesaling, how he closed his first deal. The reason why I do this is it's mostly for motivation and inspiration for those of you who's trying to hustle and grind to get your first deal, because we know the first one is always the hardest. And then after that, it doesn't get easier, man, because you're trying to scale up and trying to get more deal closed. You got to put systems, you got to put team in place, you got to continue marketing and continue that hustle. So you guys, if this video add any value to you, please do me some love. Show my guests and myself some love. Boom, smash the thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, welcome to the Wholesale 2 Million family. We are the doer and not just the talker. So make sure you, boom, smash that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notification so when I upload a new video or when I go live, you get notified. But no further ado, help me welcome my man, my young man, Carter. What's going on, playa?
What's up? Thanks for having me.
Dude, thank you so much, man, for coming on and make this an inspiration to a lot of the young people out there, man, because I get a lot of young people, man, follow me on TikTok at 18, 19, 17, trying to get their first deal and trying to get into the game, man. So this is going to be huge, bro.
Yeah.
So Carter, for those that don't know a little bit about your story, man, tell us a little bit about your stories. So I want to know the whole thing, man, the dirt.
Yeah, so I just, started wholesaling in May, about 4 months ago. And my family actually just moved here to Northern Arizona about a year ago now. So I knew I wanted to get into real estate somehow. And I kind of just stumbled across wholesaling, watching Bigger Pocket stuff and noticed a wholesaling video. And I'm like, man, I can do this with no money. Like, that's kind of cool. So I kind of got into it and I just kind of started rocking and rolling from there. I mean, I've been pretty blessed to be able to speak with people on the phone. So that really wasn't too big of a hurdle to go over for me. So I jumped right on it and I love it. Like, I love everything about it and it's going really good so far.
Good for you, bro. Now, Carter, let me ask you, do you finish high school?
Yeah. Yep. I just graduated this year.
Nice, bro. Are you going to go to college?
I did have a golf scholarship to go play down in Phoenix at a school, but I've been thinking a little different with the whole coronavirus and my mind kind of shifted a little bit. So I think I'm not going to go down this fall. I'm going to just keep grinding with the wholesaling thing and see where it takes me.
Cool, man. Okay. So now let's talk about, Carter, before we talk about your first wholesale deal, bro, have you closed any more after that? Cause you just recently start back in May of 2020, right?
Yep. 4 months ago.
Bro, dude, in Arizona, it's extremely competitive market.
Exactly. You got to be pounding the phones every day.
So, dude, having you on, bro, will eliminate all the excuse of everyone else that, oh, you know what, man, what if I look too young? They don't take me serious. I'm in a market that are saturated, too competitive, yap. So, yep. Carter, let's talk about your first wholesale deal, bro. Share with me what list you cold call and all that, bro.
Yeah, so I've closed 4 deals now so far. So my first one was back in May. I think I closed like June 3rd or so. It was a pre-foreclosure list that I got from an agent. I just saw a video saying you can get those type of lists from agents. So yep. I reached out to a local agent. I said, hey, do you have a pre-foreclosure list? I got it. I just had my 605 area code, which is my South Dakota number. So I started calling. Nobody was answering that, so I ended up getting like a mojo number to start dialing. So I was just hand dialing from my phone a pre-foreclosure list. I came across a property in Camp Verde. It's about an hour and a half away from here, a little mobile home going through pre-foreclosure. And it was a young family and they really needed out. So I really wanted to find a solution for them. So it was a lot of negotiating. It was a lot of mistakes. I agreed to 110, then I was down to 95. I was at the verge, like I would have to cancel on them. So it was really tight deal. I ended up buying it for 95 and selling it for 98. So It was really tight, but it showed that this business works, and it gave me a lot of hope, and I've loved it ever since, you know?
So, oh, dude, now, Carter, let me ask you, dude. So your first deal was for 3K.
Yeah.
And what's your second one?
Second deal was 20K.
What's your third one?
17K.
Dang, what's your fourth one, bro?
22,500.
And Carter, how long have you been doing this, bro?
4 months.
Boom, drop the mic. Bro, that's insane, bro. Dude, you know when I first started, dude, it took me 6 months to do my first deal.
Wow.
So that shows you guys, man, shit, Carter, 18, hustling, bro.
I love it.
So, yeah, so now, Carter, so you got the list pre-foreclosure. Do you ever go out and meet the seller and see the property?
Yeah, so this first one, the Camp Verde one, I did end up going down there because I needed to show it to a buyer. But my problem was I locked it up, without seeing it. And I just kind of went off the Zillow photos, and the Zillow photos were a lot different than the actual photos, like there wasn't no carport, the chimney was busted, and on Zillow it looked all nice. So that was definitely like something like maybe I should go check them out, a little bit. But no, I mean, I don't really go unless I really need to, or I want to go look at it. I mean, I don't really have a problem with going and looking at the property. I think I build enough rapport, and if I talk, certain and not so raspy or, uneasy, they'll believe me, even though I'm young, so you just got to be really certain and confident. And I mean, I'm talking serious with them. So, I mean, they're willing to do deals with me, so, and sometimes I bring my dad along too, cause he wants to go look at properties too, cause he's an investor too. So he likes the idea of finding those deals first too.
Nice, bro. See, for those of you who are, who fix and flip, I mean, wholesaling is kind of like, it's kind of like that bottom where you start to know how to find good discounted deals. So if you do fix and flip, if you know how to find good deals, you don't have to buy from other wholesaler, and your profit can be a lot bigger. So Carter, you started in May, bro. Like, did you discover wholesaling in May, or did you discover before that and educate yourself and then execute in May?
Yeah. So, I mean, it was along that like end of April, May,
okay.
like 3 or 4 weeks where I was really, really like YouTubing hard and reading a lot of books and stuff like that. I was like really going hard at it. And I jumped into it right away. I think that was like the best thing for me is I didn't get caught up in, I need to learn all this before I start. I really just went at it, and I picked up the phone right away. And I think that's probably why I got my deal, so quick. So I just took action right away because that's all I was seeing, with Brent Daniels, just all those other guys, like just go at it, take action. And that's what I did. So
bro, dude, I'm so glad that you say that, because I think a lot of people, when they get into the game, obviously there's a lot to learn, right? But they are procrastinator, and they are the one that wants everything to get everything figured out. But you got to understand, you're not going to have everything figured out. And dude, just exactly what you said, dude, you just have to go at it. Most people try and figure out the system, the program, getting the team, getting, all kind of lists and everything like that. But what they should have been doing is freaking go pull a list, just like what you did, and just freaking pound the phone, dude.
Exactly. Right? That's all it is.
What's that?
That's all it is.
Yeah, man. So so how big was the list, bro?
Pre-foreclosure list? I can't even remember. I think it was maybe 120 addresses. I mean, it wasn't very big.
Off of 120, you're able to get a deal?
I was.
You gotta be pretty good on the phone, bro.
Yeah, and then my second deal, it was only 56 addresses, and I ended up getting that 20K deal. It was a 4-unit here in Prescott. It was a multifamily list. So it's a little tight, around here, because there's not I think the county is 250,000 people. So, I mean, it's good size, but it's not crazy big, so you kind of got to be good on the phone, got to work your ways in and out. So
you have to, bro. See, the thing is, a lot of people ask me, so Khang, how big of a list should I call until I get a deal? Well, dude, how do I know how good you are on the phone, dude? So Carter, he calls 50-some people, he get a deal. For you, maybe 5,000 people. I don't know, dude. For some people, dude, I talked to this one guy, he went through, he literally calls almost 7,000 people until he gets a deal. you got to understand, so it really depends on your communication, your negotiating skill with the seller. Some of you are weak, so you need to call a lot more people. Some of you are really good, where you don't need to cost much. The conversion rate is really different. But one thing that I can tell you, man, been in this business for nine years, dude. It's not about the people, yes, it's good to know that the next cutting edge for the marketing so you can get ahead. But I'm telling you, that doesn't separate you from the other investor. What separates you and what you can get deals under contract, but also big spread, is how you talk and how you negotiate. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, and a big thing, for me was I was really caught up right away. Like, oh, I need to get into direct mail. I need to cold call. I need to, do the Google ads. I need to do all this type of marketing, And I listened to this podcast. I think it was on Wholesaling Inc. of if you can focus on one thing, one, type of marketing, either if you're cold calling, go all in. If it's direct mail, go all in until you get some deals and move on to the next. So that was like really, really helpful. I'm like, yeah, like that's good. Like right now I'm just going to cold call, text a little bit and see how it goes. I just don't want to, I think a lot of people overflow themselves and like, oh man, this business is so complicated. If when you really just break it down, just focus on one thing and just kind of go from there. Don't make it complicated, because this business is very simple. You just got to put in the work.
Dude, you made a really good point there, bro. Because a lot of people, what they do is, dude, I've seen people, like, you got to understand, every single thing works. The question is, do you work? Like they watch an interview, saw me with you, and you're like, oh, I made money from cold calling. Guess what they're going to do, dude? They're going to try cold calling for 30 days. Then they watch another, podcast of someone said, hey, I made this much from direct mail. They went and dabbed in direct mail. It's like a little dab here, a little dab there, but they never commit and stay consistent on one thing.
Yep.
But one thing I can share with you guys is right now we're doing a lot of text messaging and cold calling hard. And I think cold calling is probably the cheapest conversion rate that I know of, because that's the quickest way you can get in front of a seller is cold calling. Direct mail, you mail it out, you still have to wait for them to call you and all that. So to me, cold calling, I mean, for those of you, if you're afraid to cold call, I mean, there's other ways around it, but I'm telling you, if you are afraid to cold call, you just got to do it. Because like I said, that is the quickest way for you to get in front of a motivated seller.
Yep. Totally agree.
So now, Carter, so when you on your first deal, bro, did you go out and meet the seller at all?
Yeah, it was late in the process, like I said. I got it locked up and everything, and I put it on Craigslist. I put it on Facebook Marketplace, just to try to get attention, because I didn't have a buyer's list, at the time. But I knew if I could lock up a good deal, I'd be able to sell it. So I blasted it out there, and I ended up going down there to show it to a couple that wanted to meet at the property. So I went down there. They were literally teaching me the bad things about it. So I'm like, oh man, this ain't good. Yeah. So I mean, I didn't really know too much. Like, where's the septic? How's that? Blah blah blah. Like, I didn't know all those terms. I'm like, yeah, sorry. Anyway, then I get another call. He was a local investor in that area, and he wanted to come look, and he came. He was a little more interested, and he gave me. He said, oh, well, let me call you in the morning. So I was like, oh man, please. This is when I had it like at 110, and I was going to sell it like at 115. I think I was just totally honest with them. Like, hey, I got it locked up for this amount. I just want to make some money, And he gave me a call the next morning. He's like, sorry, I ain't going to do it. And before I actually left the property, I renegotiated down to 95. So I told him, I'm like, hey, can you go any lower? And he's like, it'd have to be under 100. So I'm like, well, 98 work. And he said, yeah. So that's kind of how the negotiating, all that came about. So.
Oh, bro. Gotcha, dude. Okay. Okay, Carter. So you initially locked this property under contract with the seller for 110?
Yep.
You never met the seller, right? You never met the seller at the time of once you lock it. So you lock it up under contract over the phone.
Yep.
Okay. So you lock it up under contract over the phone. And what was the estimated repair, bro?
I think I found like a new one for like 185, but I don't even know. Like, maybe I figured like 20 to 30 grand into it.
Gotcha. Okay.
Like I said, I was such a newbie. Like, I don't even think I estimated a repair cost.
So now, bro, so what was the ARV?
Probably like 150.
Okay, so the ARV was 150, and so you went ahead and just locked it up on a contract for 110. Didn't know what the repair was. Figured that, hey, it's worth 150. If I lock it for 110, that's what, $40,000 off.
Yeah.
That it should be good to go.
Now that I think about it, I was a little fearless back then.
Dude, good for you, man. Okay, hold on, bro. So you lock it up for 110, and how long do you lock it up for?
I think I put like a 30-day close. So I think I locked it up. I think it was like probably like 2.5 weeks.
So it was
not 2.5, probably like 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Oh, wait. So 2 weeks closing or 30 days closing?
30-day closing. I've had it locked up about 2 weeks and haven't sold it yet.
Okay. So basically, originally you lock it up with the seller for 30 days. So you tell them, hey, we can buy this property and we can close in 30 days.
Yeah.
Okay. So you found a buyer within 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, man, this buyer here is probably is he or she a savvy investor?
The buyer that bought it?
Yeah.
I don't know if they do too much investing. They're actually, I think, just a rich couple down there that they want to buy a rental.
Yeah.
So it kind of worked out well in that sense.
Yeah, good, man. So now my question to you is, what can you get in rent on this property?
Do
you know what it can rent for?
Maybe like $850.
Okay, so it can rent for $850. Okay, it can rent for $850, and
but I mean, it needed a lot of work, you know. So.
Really, like to get it to able to rent.
I mean, they were living in it already, but I mean, it wasn't like the best condition, you know. So like I said, probably like 20-30 grand.
Okay.
But honestly, this was like like I said, I didn't really have an idea what I was doing, so I didn't even go into all that. So I'm actually kind of revisiting it right now.
Hey, you know what, man? You made it happen, bro. That's all that matters, dude.
Yep,
Money's in the bank, dude.
I was able to help them out and you know, make some money, and they can go on their way, because no one wants to have a foreclosure record on their record.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, dude, absolutely, man. I mean, dude, my first deal, bro, dude, I made even way more mistake, bro. So okay, bro. So it needs about 20K to repair. So the buyer that was going to buy this, he's going to keep it as a rental, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Got it. So it can rent for about $850. Dude, so this is a retail buyer. So he bought it for $98. So you renegotiate. Okay. So Carter, let's talk about this, bro. So when you, I don't know, when you do interview with other people, I don't know if they do this or not, but this is typically what I like to do is to be able to help out, you know, the viewer, people that are watching this. I want to give you guys I want to see how I can really help you out, you know, just for future deals, so you know what you need to do. So the buyer went out there for 110. He went out there and he looked at the property, and he told you he couldn't do 110.
Yeah, it was 115. He couldn't do it because I got it locked up.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. So he couldn't do for 115. And then and then you start dropping numbers.
Yeah, I renegotiated with them because I realized I was too high.
Sure.
95. And they owned about 90 on it, so they were able to take about 5 because I wanted to give them some money, you know. So I'm like, well, if I can get about 5 grand, and they can just move on. You know, they were gonna move in with his mother anyway in that town, so I just move on if I could do that. And they're like, yeah, you know, whatever. I mean, it's either that or foreclosure. So I got it down to 95.
Gotcha, bro. Gotcha. And the reason why I asked this is that for those of you who's watching, when you either negotiating with the seller or with the buyers, you always want to position yourself and ask the other person. So let's just say if Carter, if that was me, if I was in Carter's position and Carter was the buyer, I would ask Carter. I would say, hey, listen, we want to work with you. We want to make this work for you and for us and for the seller as well. Where do you think you need to be in price for you to move forward to actually buy and close on this property?
Yeah.
So that's how I would position it and let the other person tells you what they would pay for it. And then at that time you can go and then start negotiating.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, man. So Carter, let me see, bro. So man, what I like to know from you is is there any earnest money that you had to put down?
I just did $100. That's just kind of what I started with. Now I do 500, and if they want higher, then I'll go higher. But I don't want to, get too ahead of myself and put up a bunch. But honestly, I don't even think I've had to put earnest money down yet because they've never asked for it.
Right. Now, so Carter, when you talk to the seller and when you lock it up in a contract, did you mention the earnest money? Did the seller mention it?
They were so motivated just to get out of there. They were, no. I just sent them the contract. They signed it, and I had to try to sell it. So it was really quick like that. It was kind of a blur, it was just like, this isn't even wholesale. This is like messy bunch, what I'm dealing with. So
yeah. Well, dude, the reason why I point that out, because a lot of people get stuck on that. They're like, dude, I don't have the earnest money. Dude, the earnest money can be $1, and it can be $1, it can be $10.
Yeah.
And the thing is, dude, when you deal directly with the homeowner, with the seller, 99% of the time, they don't even bring up the whole earnest, right? Deposit. So what I'm telling you is, dude, a lot of times it's what's in here that is stopping you. If you don't bring it up, the seller's not going to bring it up. So, yeah. And the thing is, my thing for you, Carter, dude, we put on in our contract, dude, $250. I now move it down to even $150.
Wow.
Dude, the Carter, the reason why is that if it's never even the seller concern, why would you put so much more money at risk?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So the thing is, a lot of time what I do, bro, let's just say I lock it up on a contract and it didn't work out with the seller. And and the seller been working with us. They've been easy. They've been super nice. But we have done everything we can and just can't make the deal work. And just to make everything good, dude, sometimes we just tell the seller, hey, we're just gonna release the earnest money deposit to you, because most seller will assume that, hey, when you don't move forward with buying the property, like typically what it is, as a buyer, you get your earnest money back, but yep. I did it just to make sure that I don't cause any hard feeling. So I just release it to them. But to us, 150 is nothing. But imagine, so I'm saying that is because you don't need to tie it up and put $500 or $1,000 if you don't need to, bro.
Yeah.
It will make the seller feel better if you end up canceling the contract and release that earnest money to them, and they get 150 or 200, where it doesn't make a huge difference in your bank account. That's all.
Yeah, it's just a lot of them are really, when I send it over, the most asked question is, why is the earnest so low? So I think 500 is a good. I mean, if they want to put it higher, then whatever. But I know that it's a good deal, so I'm gonna be able to sell it. So I'm really not too worried about it. Sure,
man. I mean, if you're comfortable with it, that's all cool, dude. Now, Carter, man, okay, man. So for those that are starting out, man, that's trying to get their first deal.
Yeah.
What are your tips and advice to them, bro?
Yeah. So kind of like I said earlier, it's really just don't dissect yourself too much into YouTube University and all that type of stuff. I mean, it's great. Like that's where I started, but what I'm saying is don't waste so much time in that, so watch a video, then go take some action. I mean, it's all about really like picking up the phone and going at it. And another big thing is staying consistent. I mean, each and every day, if you can pick up the phone for 30 minutes, 15 minutes, an hour, your pipeline will keep building up and you're going to be able to do some deals. So it's just like, go take action and stay consistent. And this business is awesome. I swear it's going to be worth it. I love it. Everyone loves it.
Awesome, man. So Carter, let me ask you, so how is your, so what list are you focused on now that you have closed 4 deals?
Yeah. So pre-foreclosure list was my first.
Uh-huh.
Prescott multifamily
Okay.
was my second. My third was a big list. It was about 3,000 addresses. Absentee owner in my county with some equity. And I got a deal off that in town here. And then I'm just pulled owner occupied with equity that's owned it for a while, you know, little older built homes. That's about another 3,000 addresses that I'm about to call starting now. So yeah, I mean, my problem is I think I don't have a problem calling. It's just I need to always have those addresses to call, you know? So I always got to be filling it up so I just never run out. And I think I'm learning everything, so I think that won't be a problem. I'll just be able to pound the phones every day and just try to focus on getting more deals.
I'm focused on getting that money, man.
That money, yep.
So now, so besides cold calling, I know you mentioned you did a little bit text messaging too, right?
Yeah, so I just kind of started that. I use the batchleads.io for texting.
Yep.
They make it really simple. I can put my list into there. And I think my goal, I think I send like for this new address or that new bunch of addresses, I'll send like maybe 200 texts a day. So when I'm calling, I can just kind of follow up with them while I'm calling. So I can just click it and I'll send it to them. And yeah, I like texting a lot too, because, you know, if you can't go through the front door, you can go through the window. And I think that's a lot, you know, kind of with texting. So
I like that, bro.
It's another great way to reach them. You know, if they're not answering that day, they might get a text to their phone, and then calling's a good one if it's just like a landline or, you know, stuff like that. So it's just another form to reach the list, and it's not spendy at all, you know, so it's really nice.
Nice. So just for those of you who didn't grab that, so Carter, what he used is he used batch lead code WTM. What you're gonna get is you're gonna get like I think it's like $1 and dollars for X amount or so. You get 500 free text messages.
Yep.
And yeah, and I think your first month or so that they only charge you like $1 or something like that. So if you want to use the pro, people get a hold of you and get in contact with you, bro.
Yeah. So you guys can go follow me on Instagram, message me on Instagram, Facebook. It's Carter _Libis, CARTER_LIBIS, or just Carter Libis, it'll pop up. But yeah, I'd love to answer you guys' questions and, you know, kind of help you guys out along the way. So Instagram, Facebook Messenger, Facebook, whatever.
You have a TikTok, bro?
I do not have a TikTok.
All right, you guys. What's that?
I was too addicted to it. I couldn't stop scrolling.
Hey, dude, make sure you use social media and don't let it use you.
Yeah.
Anyways, you guys, I'll make sure I leave Carter links just right below if you just want to hook up and connect with him. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this interview. I hope that it add a lot of value to you guys. Hopefully that it motivates and inspire me. It certainly did for me. Looking back, you know, I started real estate when I was 27. Took me 6 months. This guy, you know, he's 18 and he did it within just a couple of months and closed 4 freaking deals. That's amazing, bro. So I want to say congrats. And I want to say, Carter, thank you so much, man, for taking your time to jump on and do this with me, man. I really appreciate it.
No, of course. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
You guys, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, take care and ciao. Bye, bro.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks, bro.